Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander, TFW, and I'm joined this week by the squashed pea of my soup. It's Mr. Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
If you feel me through your mattress, it's because I shouldn't be there.
How did that lady not squish that pea? Like, peas are not dense things.
How did those mattresses not squish that pea?
Yeah. Are we sure it wasn't like a lump of gold or something? Of purest green.
What you have, if it has a name, is some green.
Purest green. There's some Blackadder for you, if you remember that, ladies and gentlemen.
Good times, you better.
Oh yeah, I should rewatch that at some point because that was a good show.
It's a good show.
Apart from season 1.
Even then, there's stuff I like.
I would rather just go to season 2.
Bold.
I'd rather go to season 2. I was not a fan of season. I saw season 1 like twice, and I was like, I don't feel I want to ever watch it again.
There is a lot of yelling in that Brian Blessed.
Yes, yeah, he is good. I mean, he's Brian Blessed, but
They don't
compared to the other seasons,
they don't direct him. They just say, "Be yourself."
just,
I've seen him interviewed. He's just like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if it's fair to say that he's an actor. I'm not sure if it is fair to say that. He's great, but I'm not sure he's ever acting. I don't know. Yep. But we're here not to talk about Brian Blessed, unfortunately. We're here to talk about Transformers this week. So, Mr. Mikey, we're going to talk about some custom stuff, and we're going to start off once again with Shockwavelabs. We're not talking about light nipples this time round, so that's a boon, I suppose. The SL51, and we're also going to talk about the SL52 upgrade kits. 51 being for Siege Voyager Soundwave, and the 52 for the Legends Lg Dai Atlas. So for Shockwave, for Soundwave, they are making a few bits. One to fill out the forearms, so he doesn't have big holes in his forearms for when his hands are flapping about. And the other pieces, I should say, because there's one for each side, are specifically there, from what I can tell, to facilitate fan moding. Because this, for those not aware, for those in the future, or those in the past, who can somehow listen to podcasts in the future, this Soundwave turns into a space barge. I don't want to call him a spaceship because he's never looked dynamic enough in that vehicle mode to look like a spaceship.
Or, Soundwave lying down.
Yeah.
I
think space barge is kinda, though.
I think mine's more accurate.
It is. I'm not saying you're wrong. But this is to effectively facilitate 2 alt modes, so you can get him into effectively a stereo system mode and into a lamppost mode from that one time. Yeah. It's an interesting idea. I'm sure it will make a lot of people happier because they can get the Soundwave to do what Soundwave should always do. Debatably. So the pieces that allow for the cassette mode go onto his back, basically, and create a slide system where you slide the shoulder joint, which is on a
mushroom peg.
A mushroom peg. Yeah, and usually, for some reason, I don't know why, you could have just pulled out, because it's on one of those mushroom pegs which you slide out. But this allows you to close that and just slide it along into position.
I'm a little concerned about that, because how tight is that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because they're a thing that you push in and they're not really meant to ever come out again.
Yeah, and it's fine once or twice. It's repeated motions. If you're buying this and presumably transforming the toy a lot, you're going to eventually wear that channel down. Yeah,
and I guess the worry is your arm just slowly slides left and right.
All I wanted to do was play music.
They wanted to make me a lamppost, for fuck's sake. They also allow for the in quotations again, batteries, or what they were batteries. They're also his guns to fit onto the back, because they've got some pegs for where the handles would be. So that's kind of neat. Mikey, the idea of turning this Soundwave into a cassette player, or faux cassette player, I suppose, and Lamppost, what do you think of the idea behind this?
I think for considering that this Soundwave is really, 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 really about the G1 nostalgia. I think for a lot of people who are buying it, and from what I've seen, some people buy it as like a fake masterpiece.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Because they strip off the paint.
Do they put it into the masterpiece collection?
Yeah, well, some of them say like, "Oh, it makes more sense for him to be this size." Don't know. I don't know. I've handled Masterpiece Soundwave, and it is a very different toy.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But for them, where they want to just have, hey, this is the classic toy, makes sense, I suppose.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense for me. This is something I would never consider spending money on.
Okay.
Because the toy is the toy, and if I want a toy that does something else, I get a different toy.
Well, it still facilitates, I suppose, the mode. It just adds to it.
Oh, yeah. But I'm not saying it takes away from the lying down barge. I'm just sort of saying that I'm buying the toy I'm buying and trying to... this isn't like adding extra features. This, to me, is kind of like pretending the toy is something it's not.
That's why I'm pretty sure I said it, but it's definitely fan moding it.
Yeah.
It's third-party fan moding. Facilitating fan moding. It's bizarre.
If you want to do that, that is fucking fine, but...
Sure, yeah.
I just could not bring myself, shall we say. I think the other thing they're doing makes more sense.
The fill-in for the forearms.
Yeah.
Do you mean the Dai Atlas stuff?
Well, both of those, because they're both serving the same function, because those gaps can get very distracting.
I would say from the images, the forearm pieces for some reason are colored chromed, and they are going into forearms which are not chromed, which I don't quite understand the reasoning behind that. Because they do cover up a hole, granted,
they do,
but they stand out now in a different way. Right?
Yes. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. It's a strange choice, because granted, I completely agree that, or would agree, if people were going to fight me on this, that those forearms should probably be silver anyway. Yeah. The thing is, they're not silver. They are dull grey Hasbro plastic, which, is the staple of what we always joke about.
Yeah.
I don't think the Japanese release has got silver paint on it. I don't think, right?
No, the Japanese release is identical.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, again, it's strange why they've coloured them, at least from these images. Maybe the official one will be different, why these are coloured chromed. It's odd choice. Very odd. But hey, there you go. I don't think we have a price on these, as far as I can see.
No, not yet.
But man, I would hope that they're not expensive, because you're not getting a lot here.
No, God, no.
Amount.
God, no. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're going to be ridiculous, aren't they?
I could see them being like £15 or something. And maybe that's being too generous. I'm not sure. As I mentioned, the Legends Takara SL52 Dai Atlas stuff, as Mikey said, facilitates the same idea, and you get effectively 2 back filler pieces for the back of the shins, as we talked about before. Poor Dai Atlas has no calf muscles, and with this, it allows him to. They don't seem to be painted at all. They are solid bits of blue plastic, which is nice, but also has some issues to it. As you can use these pieces not only to fill in his calves, which is very nice, but they can store in his vehicle mode as well, and basically form like SRM missiles, short-range missiles kind of launches. That's kind of what they facilitate.
Macross missile spam.
Yeah, Macross spam, the usual spiel. It can even go onto his full-on combined drill tank mode, but they are just more plopped onto the side.
Yeah.
So they're a bit more distracting, at least for me. It's not bad, but I really wish at least the missile spam was painted. Maybe they will be, but it's almost like they're too blue. What do you think about these, Mikey? Because I know that you weren't that fussed about him not having calf muscles, but I think this is a nice upgrade just to help fill him out a bit more.
I think this is good. I think it is, like, I wasn't fussed. I thought that people were way the hell overreacting. But I think this is a nice little option if you are there and just like, listen, I like this toy, but visually it could be a little better. Same with Soundwave. I think it's good to fill in the gap. I think this looks better than the Soundwave one. Like you said, I think the colors blend better. But yeah, I could have done with some paint, and I don't like the weapon stuff. I don't think it looks good in.
Oh, you mean the missile things?
Yeah, I don't think it looks good attached to it at all. I'll be completely frank. But I think as an accessory that I'd only use in robot mode, I'm fine with it. I think it's a neat little thing, and it better be cheap.
I suppose it's nice that it does have extra functionality outside of just being calf muscles.
Oh yeah, but for me, I have no problem with it not having extra functionality. Sure. If I could talk, it'd be dangerous. But,
I definitely think it's better to have a little bit of extra stuff, because it's not like it's taking away from it having it or anything like that. It's just, if you want, you can also throw them onto the vehicle mode, or you don't have to. So yeah, although you might not like it, it is something you can do with it. So I think that's for the best. It's neat, and like you say, hopefully it's not too expensive again, because it is just effectively 2 lumps of blue plastic that go into the back of his legs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts, Mr. Mikey?
No, I'm good.
All right, zoom us over to more upgrade kits, it seems.
Yeah, DNA Designs have released images of their DK12 upgrade kit from Masterpiece MPM6 Ironhide, a liked but contentious figure due to some qualities of its transformation. Now, so this kit includes a couple of weapon add-ons, something to sort of stabilize the robot mode a bit, and something else if you're in the first production run. So the first thing, it comes with a pair of knives, which he has had in various incarnations, but I don't believe he's ever either had or used in the movies.
What, his knives?
Yeah.
Well, you're probably right. I don't know why
and he comes with the 2 guns he had in Dark of the Moon, in the one scene I actually like.
Which scene was that?
The Mexican standoff with the dreads.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but wasn't bad. And like, I should also premise, it's the only scene I like that doesn't involve Optimus slowly going insane.
What about when Prime was tied up in ropes, asking for help?
Wreckers, save me! Wreckers, I don't have knives! Yes, you do. I don't have knives, Wreckers! What about when Optimus pretended to be dead and let them murder a city to make the point of, you need us?
Did it make a point, though?
Yeah, don't piss off Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I think
he'll let you die.
I think he won then. He made his point.
He did. And this comes with a back piece as well that integrates into the vehicle mode, and it basically tightens up the shoulders and doors and makes things a bit steadier. If you're in the first production run of this, you also get an exclusive extra. You get a small Mojo. Do you remember Mojo?
The monkey.
No, different Mojo.
Oh.
Not the Mojo from Austin Powers either.
Which I don't remember.
He lost his Mojo once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I luckily don't remember too much about Austin Powers.
In the middle of a threesome, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It was Austin Powers 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't recall most of that movies.
Was Beyonce in those? But yeah, so Mojo, who is sculpted peeing. So you can put him up against Masterpiece Ironhide's foot, and he can pee in it.
Mojo
and
now.
Yeah, and the pee is actually sculpted to go against his foot. First production run extra.
I'm not sure I'd need the first production run.
I don't need water sport toys.
No, but maybe
golden shower dogs are not what we need in life.
It's maybe appropriate for the movie toys, I suppose, because it is in keeping with its themes
of Michael Bay pissing on you from a great height.
Arguably, yes. Arguably.
I mean, it's neat. I'm sure someone's like flipping out about it, and that's cool. But the web, that's fine. It's fine. Whatever you're into, man. As long as it's you and a consenting party, that's A-okay.
It's all that matters.
Yeah. But the weapons, they store on the body. They come in an extra couple of pieces for knife storage. But I think the weapon parts are nice, and I think it's good to have something to stabilize him, because every review I've seen, this guy looks like a designer's nightmare, to be quite frank.
Oh, really?
It just looked like, hey, we had this brilliant idea, and then we had to execute it.
Oh, no. Did they execute it a little bit drunk?
I think they may have had one or two.
No.
Andy, what do you think of him?
I mean, upgrade kits for things are always neat. The Mojo peeing thing is that's a thing. That is 100% a thing that exists.
And happened.
The guns are nice. I like him with knives. If it gives you extra value for the Cyanide figure, then all the better, I suppose. It's not as, at least to me, because I don't own the toy, it doesn't stick out as oh wow, the dog peeing on his leg looks like he's peeing. You know that that stuff that you shoot into gaps and it kind of fills out, that kind of foam.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, and it's slowly filling on Ironhide's foot. That's really creepy. But no, it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't wow me, though.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether that's because it's a movie toy or whether it's just that the kit itself doesn't add a huge amount. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Trying to think, is it my own bias towards the movie toys, or is it just a...
Is it your ignorant, rampant hate of the modern movie?
It could be. It could very well
modern cinematic experience?
You mean in the movies in general now? Because that's kind of, oddly enough, that is kind of how I feel. I feel super jaded now when I think about movies.
2 weeks, Andy.
Well, before my hope is restored.
It better fucking be restored, or else I am going on the fucking warpath.
But what if it's not good, Mikey?
It better be fucking good! I will find Mike Doherty, and I will do things. That could be used in a 10-year television series in a fantasy world, except it's not that fantastical. But...
see, I thought you were going to say this could be used in a court of law in the future, and I was like, oh, that's not a good idea, Mikey. Don't state your intent if you're trying to get away with it.
No, it won't be used in a court of law because there will be no evidence.
Oh, that's fine then. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Shall I move us on, though? All right, Mikey. A new third-party company... Another one, because they crop up like weeds, it seems, called Iron Trans, that's one word, Iron Trans, have shown off some images via their Weibo, whatever you want to call it, account. They show off the IR-VO1 in some great prototypes. And what is the VO1? It's Starscaber, apparently. A unique take on Starscaber, because I don't think he's IDW based.
He's stylized, but he's not crazy stylized. He's very G1. Ish. And he is G1-ish, and he's definitely going like, hey guys, you don't have a third-party G1 styled Starscaber, but we didn't want to go all the way.
Yeah. And now all the other companies, I'm sure, will join on.
No, all the other companies will throw out their chromey G1, ass G1, look at the joint. Look at the joints. Look at them!
Oof. We do have some measurements for this guy. Apparently, the robot mode is going to be 35 centimeters tall, so from the images, we can see it's a little bit taller than the Masterpiece, which is obviously already out at this point, which is fine. This figure will have several accessories, such as the Saber Blade, which is a blade for Starscaber.
Hey, what?
Yeah, you heard. It's a saber for Starscaber. Right. You get a laser rifle. Man, it should be called the Blade Beam.
It should be called the Blade Saber.
The Blade Saber Beam gun sword. Oh no, he's nothing but swords. Even his forks are swords.
No. It needs to be Sabor.
Yes, Sabor. And then you get a pair of extra hands. It doesn't say what the hands are.
Those are for Saber.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. They're for Saber.
Yep. So Saber. So these are, just to be clear, we have a Saber, a small Saber, a gun Saber, hands for Saber, and a mini Saber.
Just so it doesn't get confusing.
They're in space.
They are. Saber Space?
Star Space.
Star Space!
Saber Star Space.
I like how tiny the Brain Master form is. He's the size of Saber's hands.
Yeah, he is wee.
He's super duper duper tiny. Mikey, we see him in a few variations. We see him in Starsaber mode, all his glorious, they usually say. We see his accessories, we see the saber form, and we see the combined jet mode and the normal jet mode. So what do you think of the overall look of this piece of kit?
Honestly, I dig it. They've animated the proportions a bit, which I like. So like his forearms are thinner, his legs are longer, his chest is a bit bulkier. The weapons accessories are very good, I think. It's minimum, but it's hitting all the basics. Also, it looks like he can hold his sword properly, unlike the Masterpiece. I also like the fact they're going with articulated hands on Starscaber, but for the smaller saber figure, they're just going with hand swaps. Not a bad thing. Although I'm hoping he has regular fists as well as holding things with hands. We'll see about that. Probably, yeah, overall, like, the base figure I'm digging. The only thing that's not really doing it for me is the vehicle modes. Partly because, the combined, what is it, Victory Star?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. That, I feel they could have gone higher with the stylization. Like, maybe done something to try and make it look a lot less like a robot, with a jet in the front. And I think the actual smaller jet, I think they may have gone a little off with the stylization in that they've done the jet and they've given it what I can only describe as a bootay.
Yeah, and I can see that.
I see what they're going for, but it does look like Picard should be in there saying separate saucer section.
No.
Yeah. But no, overall I'm digging what they're going for. It looks reasonably well articulated. It's got personality, which I like. It feels super robot, a lot more super robot than you might otherwise get. And I do think it's nice that you have something with a primarily G1 vibe when we have an official third-party IDW Starsaber with angel wings and who will, burn the heretic. And then we have a transforming version of that same character. Who is maybe a bit more G1 than Alex's design, but not by a huge amount. So I think having someone who's just like, hey, here's a Masterpiece scale figure that's still not, we still want to be a bit inventive. Like, it's tickling the sack just enough.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I really dislike how gappy it seems to be. Especially in vehicle mode, it looks super duper gappy. There's bits everywhere where, like you say, you can tell where the saucer section is. I really dislike that. I feel it kind of breaks apart the vehicle mode and makes it not look like a cohesive thing.
Do you think any of that might improve when it's not a prototype?
It could do. It could very well do. But it's hard to. It's always hard to judge when you're looking only on a prototype, I suppose. But I can only give you my opinion from what I can see at the moment. The general design, I guess, looks okay for Starsaber. But maybe they just needed to go a bit further with it. I don't know. It doesn't do a lot for me. Maybe it's because it's unfinished.
Yes. We are only looking at what looks to be a pretty rough prototype.
Yeah. So who knows? It might get better as we go along in time and we see better pictures.
Yeah.
Mikey, take us on to the next bit of news.
Yeah, Toy World, who have been attracting our attention with the madness of movie World War II, are now moving into the madness of third-party Bumblebee toys. So they are doing a rendition of Optimus Prime from the movie, transforming into his very G1-esque robot mode, a very G1-esque truck mode, and apparently he'll come with some add-on pieces to make his robot mode more G1 if you want.
Ooh.
Cool. I wouldn't if I were them. But the idea of this is that it's in scale with the 3A Bumblebee.
Right.
So they have it here pictured with it, and like they match it pretty well. It also towers above the Voyager class figure, which I hear is very good. But yeah, he looks pretty solid, it has to be said. I'm just scrolling down. There's another. It looks like another company is doing something. But for me, the exciting thing about all this, and it's like, make sure to scroll down as well, because it's some pictures. Because look at the fourth picture of Optimus. See him?
Is this scrolling down? You mean?
No, like on the main pictures.
Oh, okay. Hang on. One, two, three. Yes. I've seen him crop up in a few of the pictures. Yeah,
Who dat?
that looks like a little dog.
Or a cat.
Nah, he's a dog.
He's not a jaguar, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Ravage, movie Ravage, new Ravage, good Ravage design.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, very nice scene. Love that Ravage. There is a prototype of him popping up in a lot of these shots. So either they're working on a Ravage or they're working on a Soundwave with Ravage.
If you scroll down, when you scroll down further, they are just showing images of scale, I suppose. After that.
But I would be well up for that because I really like that take on Ravage. I think it's a really, really nice one, and it really showed why we should have been doing this from the fucking start.
It would be weird as well not to do a Soundwave with a Ravage.
Yeah, because this isn't one of those cases where they happen independently.
No.
Ravage turned into a cassette. Where do I go? But yeah, I would be up for that Soundwave getting a figure. I'd also really like that Shockwave. Overall, I just like Bumblebee as a movie. So yeah, Andy, what's your thought on Freedom Leader?
Freedom Leader.
Does he lead freedom?
He could do. Maybe peacefully this time as well. Who can say? We didn't see enough of him. Looks like a decent, solid enough design. He seems to turn into a pretty nice, chunky robot. I'm not sure if because I don't own the current version of Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie, who looked like a pretty decent figure anyway. When you see them in comparison, he's definitely a lot bigger. He's like a deluxe taller than that figure from the looks of things, so that's a plus. And he seems to form a very tight little vehicle mode as well.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a fair bit of like shell going on, but
I don't know. Maybe they might be doing some weird magic where everything kind of folds around and then in on itself. Always hard to tell until you get this stuff in hand. I mean, his legs are his legs.
Yeah,
that'll always be Optimus.
Those sure are feet sticking at the back of that truck.
Yeah, I can hardly blame them because that's usually how Optimus Prime figures go when they go this design route. And
they've got panels trying to pretend.
They do, yeah. So they are trying to do stuff. Bless them. No, it looks pretty solid. I can never get too excited for the movie stuff, even for Bumblebee movie stuff. But it's like, I think that's solid, pretty solid.
Yeah.
We don't have any other information on it though, do we?
No. And yeah, what about Ravage?
Yeah, like I think Ravage looks cooler. I'm more interested in seeing how that works. The only image we have of Ravage when he pops up is he's in one pose, so I imagine he might be glued together more so than anything else since he's a prototype.
Held together with whims and a prayer.
Yeah, just because prototypes do have that tendency of exploding. So,
yeah, and you can see the joints, so clearly the toy is supposed to move, but
oh yeah. It's a pretty good representation. It might be the best looking Ravage figure.
Sir, do you know what? Including G1 stuff, you're probably right. Like maybe some of the third-party masterpieces, but none of them ever hit me.
I don't know. I was never really that impressed by those. And I know the official Takara one was just, at least in my eyes, just kind of like, it's all right. Yeah,
doing the best. Like, but I think this one they went like, okay, robot thing first,
yes,
and then
weird chunky cassette later. Yeah,
we don't need him to look like a cassette tape. He can just look like a functional animal.
Yeah, I have a feeling when he transforms, he will transform into a large, thick rectangle rather than a one trying to emulate a cassette. So I don't expect him to be as thin as your usual Ravages. But yeah, I'm more interested in him than I am the other ones. That's also because of Decepticon bias, and it's nice to see something from the movie that's not an Autobot getting done.
Yep. Also, Shadow and Dropkick, please.
Nah, no one liked them.
Yes, they did.
Nah.
And they fucked it up. We need a good toy.
Shall I take us on, Mr. Mikey?
Please do. To the worst toy made by man.
Oh, God, yeah. Takara Tomy show off a official promo video for the MP Blackarachnia. And for the second time in 2 weeks, we had more people complaining, wow, that spider mode doesn't look good. And me going, but how can you displace physics? What do you want? What do you want?
So I will name no names because this is not a name and shame game.
No.
But I saw people and they were saying things like, this is exactly what's wrong with modern Masterpiece thinking. Nothing's transforming. Everything's coming out of shells and things like that. Fake chests, fake things, fake everything. And this is exactly what's wrong with Masterpiece today. And my response to that is the response I've had since this has really kicked off. You, broadly speaking, I am speaking to the community as a whole, so no one feel individually set upon. You have all been saying you wanted more show accuracy. You wanted things more like the cartoon you had as a child. I very rarely encounter someone who says they want a masterpiece that's accurate to the toy. And they wanted the unified aesthetic. They wanted the Roger Rabbit effect that the cartoon character brought to life. Well, in order to get that, there must, with every single one, be cheating.
Especially with the Beast Wars stuff.
Especially one Beast Wars figure has gotten away with it, and even he cheats a bit, and that's Megatron.
Yeah.
It's not possible for Optimus Prime's chest to turn into that truck cab and have it look like it did in the show. Yeah. And have it look like the truck. It's not possible. It is equally impossible that Blackarachnia is going to turn into a real-looking spider or a show-accurate spider because she didn't in the show. A spider disappeared and a robot popped out of thin air.
Yeah, did you see the video someone put on of her actual transformation sequence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of the CG model from the show, not this toy. It was like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't. It's not real.
Dinobot is more real, and half of him appears out of nowhere. And, like, Blackarachnia's proportions do not turn into a gigantic thorax spider.
No.
So, yeah, the spider mode is a bit jank. The robot mode is fucking amazing!
Yeah. You can you can tell that's what they went for, and they really nailed that robot mode. Yeah. And I love the fact that in the video they show you that she can, like, this is going to sound lame, but the ability to cross her legs.
Yes, convincingly cross her legs.
Convincing, yeah. It's got, I guess, the older figure art kind of hip design where you pull the legs down lower than the hips, and it gives them that extra kind of mobility. Posability, I should say.
Basically means she can do what she did in the show.
Yeah.
And so what if the spider's a bit jank? You're getting she's going to be about 130. You're getting a high quality Japanese action figure with a feature. That is how I'm looking at this. That is what it is. And I have seen figures that people pay twice as much for non-transforming figures that are of anime characters or robots or anime girls from porn games that people liked. I am not kidding about that last one. You can find articulated porn characters that cost ridiculous amounts.
Oh, I bet.
I do not. What did you expect?
I don't know. I think one concern I would have is how those joints are gonna work. Is there gonna be any quality control issues with them? Because, you know, obviously, if you're gonna be pulling them down and out,
yes.
Is that gonna have wear and tear? Like, how quickly are those gonna come loose?
Which was
and
why
like that?
Figure Arts actually went away from that design.
Yeah, that would be my concern. Especially, I assume that the reason those hips drop down is because it's also part of the transformation as well. I don't think that's insane to think that's probably in there. No. So it's a small concern because we've had quite a few issues with quality control with Masterpiece toys, and because Blackarachnia looks quite like she's made of lots of bits and is quite a slender figure. I'm worried what her issues are going to be. Because I don't think she's gonna come out of this unscathed. I don't think it's gonna be a perfect release with no issues. Hopefully, at the very least, it will not be a Megatron where he comes out and it has a cracked crotch or something.
I thought the Jobby review was very good on that. Just be very, very careful.
Yeah. But then he didn't get to go and split those legs apart.
Yeah. But hey,
and
it
didn't get 3 kisses. It only got 2 kisses and a kind of kiss, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, Final Wars wasn't in it. His heart wasn't in it. But like, this is one of those figures where I suspect you won't be transforming it a lot anyway. So I think that might play in the favor. To be honest,
she wasn't often transforming. Especially in season 2, she stopped that real quick in season 2.
Yeah, her and Rhinox just basically quit transforming. She did
almost felt like they lost the CG models for them and went, whatever.
She used to do a lot of like appear into the scene and transform, but she wasn't like the other ones going around in her beast mode a lot.
No.
Tarantulas did it way more.
Oh yeah, definitely. He'd rubbed his little poop. What do you call them, Mikey? Poopos or something?
Oh god, the name's gone out of my head.
Yeah. The sperm hands. He rubbed his little sperm hands together. That's what they are, aren't they? That's the purpose of them.
I believe so. Because the fangs are in the middle, you see.
Yeah.
So those at the side, I believe they are to do with reproduction. I'm
so glad you teach me useless stuff about spider sperm.
I just wish I could remember the name. But you know what I saw during the week?
Oh?
I don't get how they'll remold this into tarantulas. If they do, I would just like this repainted in tarantulas colors, please.
Yeah, sexy tarantulas.
Yeah, the uncomfortable cannibal.
But still with the same voice actor.
Yeah, but saying really uncomfortable lines.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
I'm going to eat you in every sense. Please stop.
Yeah, no more tarantulas. Everyone feels uncomfortable. I did see someone put up a post and showed a battle damaged Blackarachnia and said this could be a repin, and I was like, no, that's shit. It's just a dirty Blackarachnia, effectively, and that's kind of boring. And then there's the one where she's silver and black from the Floating Island episode, whatever that was called. Yeah,
she doesn't lend herself to repaints very easily.
Not really.
I'm trying to think if there's anything her model was reused for.
If you wanted to, you could maybe go with the animated Blackarachnia.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I'm not sure how well that would transfer over to that look for the figure.
Again, with the color layout would work. Although the only thing would be her chest would be black with red highlights on the side, which, considering it's Blackarachnia, that would look odd.
It might. Yeah,
it's like her nipple seems to have sort of gone sideways.
But in fairness, I suppose, I haven't really gone too hard in on the repaints for the Beast Wars stuff.
No, every figure has gotten one except Dinobot in its early days.
Yeah, and Megatron obviously hasn't, because, he's kind of early days at the moment as well.
Like, we had Optimus Primal got a toy-accurate repaint.
Oh, yeah, that was
Cheetor got Shadow Panther.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Megatron, I would say, is almost guaranteed to be T-Rex at some point.
The not Beast Machines, that kind of offshoot line.
It was Beast Machines Dinobots.
Is that what it was? Okay, yeah, where he was red. That was actually a pretty good color scheme.
Yeah, Dinobot I could see being Grimlock pretty easily.
Yeah, bit boring, but I could see that. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We also got some images of her accessories, so we saw her with the visors we mentioned last week and stuff, and those look nice as well. It looks like a pretty solid figure. It was I was getting slightly interested in picking her up, and then I was like, what am I doing? Why would I have just one Blackarachnia? That'd be stupid.
Well, you're gonna have a herd of her instead.
just Blackarachnias.
Spider ladies.
Nothing but. And then I was like, I could get a Megatron, and then I thought, no, he's really expensive, and I would be terrified of him. So
you'd be looking at his. Rarely in life do you want to look at a crotch and say, "Are you about to snap?"
Yep. Just.
Your groin draws me in the worst possible way.
I'd use the meme, the Homer meme of like him coming into Bart's room, and it would be Megatron. Megatron, I don't want to worry you, but your crotch is exploding.
Yes.
My favorite one of those memes at the moment is Bart, I don't want to warn you, it's Marvel versus Capcom 2. Yeah! That's my favorite one so far. Mikey, do you want to go and tell us about some voting in America? Not for presidents or anything.
Oh my god. So, over on the Transformers Facebook account, they had a vote for the next Walmart exclusive G1 reissue for 2020. What were our options? Were they obscure nobodies that no one has been able to buy since the 1990s? Were they classic figures that people would love to have again? Were they G2 Megatron or the Dinobots, basically causing people's heads to explode because don't give me this choice, are you that monster? Or were they Blaster and Skywarp?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't say this one set me aflame, I have to admit.
No.
Because, hey, a Seeker or Blaster, all of which have been re-released more times than your mum.
Yeah, when Jesus, when was when did we actually get Blaster last? Because wasn't he San Diego
Platinum.
Comic-Con?
He was San Diego Comic-Con, but he was also Platinum, I remember.
Was that the last time we got him?
Oh god, it's been a couple of years maybe, but he's not. He had Shattered Glass release as well.
All right, okay.
And I think Twin Cast got redone a couple of times.
Right.
Apparently Skywarp himself hasn't been out in a couple of years, but obviously the Starscream mold's been out again.
Yeah, I mean,
more than once.
You're going to mention who the winner was, and I think it was kind of obvious who the winner was going to be. Like you say, it's either do you want to, in quotations, new mold, ha ha ha, or do you want Starscream again but black and purple?
Yeah, and they went with Blaster.
Yeah, it's not much of a choice. It almost felt at least to me like a loaded.
Do you want to vote for Blaster or Twin Cast? And you're just like, what? Yeah, I see. If it was loaded, I'd really want Skywarp to win because fuck him. But yeah, I can't. I have to admit, I saw this and I was just going, really?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it shows that we're slightly
Constructicons. Spoiled. You've done the Constructicons already. Why not do the G2 ones?
I think that's fair. That's fair. It
fair.
wouldn't take much to do them. You've already, like you say, they've already made the Constructicons, so why not just do a yellow version? Maybe a slightly more limited run of those, because maybe less people would want them. But I think they'd do quite well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hey, why not stick to the classics?
Yeah.
And I'm not having to go if you're excited and this is your first opportunity to get any of these figures. Obviously, go out and buy. It's just, I've been in this game too long.
Yeah, we've been around for a long time, and we've had a lot of these reissues.
Yep. And, if you've been in the fandom from the start, my god. I haven't been, and I'm still just, my god.
Yeah.
I don't know. Andy.
I mean, at some point, I don't think it's going to be super surprising when we get. I'm thinking of all the boxed Japanese releases, if you remember those ones, the ones in the white box, because I got all of them. Because I was like, oh my god, these are the first time these have been reissued. I bet they'll never get done again.
They'll be worth millions.
Yeah, and well, I was wrong there. I'm still glad I have them, of course, but I don't think we've had a reissue line go on long enough to the point where it encapsulates all of those ones. Granted, we've had ones where it goes, here's Omega Supreme, here's Triptychon and stuff, which was definitely good.
Yeah, we were cool with that. It's just then that line stopped.
Yes. And
the next line restarted from point B.
Yeah, it's like, here's another Optimus Prime. It's like, okay.
It's like they'd hit E or F and then they'd stop and go back.
Yeah. And I think we've heard the excuses of, oh, well, we'd need to make the molds again. I think you could make the molds again. I can't imagine they'd be that much more expensive to make those molds again and then sell those toys again.
Hell, we have CAD models and things these days. Scan some old toys, scan some knockoffs or whatever, and just people say, oh, if you do that, you're going to end up with bigger toys. Change the model, downsize it 4%.
Yeah, there's a way to get around it. I mean, you do combiners, the Scramble City combiners. You easily get two things out of them because you go, well, there's the G1 version and here's the G2 version. The G2 version, which had a super limited release and a super rare.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them doing the G2 aerial bots?
Oh my god.
And going, oh, hey, these ones won't die from gold plastic syndrome, hopefully.
Yeah. Or it's the Predators.
Yeah. I was thinking of the Scramble City ones because it's a safe choice because they've done Bruticus before. Here's the thing: they've done Bruticus, but I don't think they've ever redone G2 Bruticus.
No, I don't think they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could even make
G2 Menasor, guys.
Yeah, they've never done Menasor.
The toy that never got released.
Yeah. I was thinking they could even make a fun one, if they wanted to, a fun one being G2 Predaking, and just come up with a new color scheme for that.
G2
it would need to obviously fit in with the aesthetic of the rest of the G2 stuff.
Give me Catilla's colors.
I want it more garish, to be honest. Remember the big bad Dudicus, Mikey.
Yeah, true.
You can't go down from that. You need to at least go horizontally. You can't go down.
Camo animals.
That would be fucking badass. That'd be really cool.
Why is that lion wearing camouflage?
You could even get the fans to vote. So you could be like, well, here's each limb. Here's an array of bizarre colors. And here's what they would look like on the model. What would you prefer for each limb?
There's no word of a fan-voted character at the moment, so do that.
Yeah. And then the fans could choose effectively what their Predaking would look like. And hopefully people wouldn't just be assholes and just pick the worst one. But the worst one might be the best one for me, so I don't know. I don't know, though, Mikey. I think we keep saying this, and I do feel we're kind of old manning it, but I definitely feel that they could easily do more with the reissue line.
Oh, God, I think they are
easily
killing their own market by limiting it the way they do. Because their market is essentially children or people who came into the fandom and are still not picked up stuff. Because most of the people our age group are older either have these figures or don't want them.
Yeah.
Like, collecting G1 stuff, you either are into it or you're not. And if you've been into fandom for any length of time and you've gotten the basics, it's those, redo Sunstreaker or scan the knockoff Sunstreaker or a real Sunstreaker or whatever.
Wheeljack with
Wheeljack,
all of his thousands of bits.
Sideswipe and then do G2 Sideswipe, the most loved G2 figure, who's not insanely blinding because it's the only one who might actually have a workable color scheme that's not a Constructicon.
It's true.
Et cetera,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a shame. One of those things. Mikey, let me tell you about something that is getting a reprint. It is Legacy, The Art of Transformers Packaging. This was a book that was done a while ago at this point by Jim Sorensen and Mr. Bill Forster, which is a compendium of Transformers animation, not animation, toy box art and stuff like that. And obviously Jim and Bill are known for the ARC compendiums, which pull together all the animation stuff and all that kind of bobbins. But this was, for the toys and whatnot. So it's getting a reprint. It's coming out in November, and if you want it, you can go and get it. Mikey, do you want it?
Not my kind of thing, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, I would agree. It's neat that it's kind of cool that it's popular enough to get a reprint. Though I think it's been a year or 2 years or 3 years since it was first released, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's interesting that it's getting another one. So if you missed it the first time, you can now have a crack at it this time. I may as well, Mr. Mikey, take the next two stories as they're quickies, and they're for conventions. TFCon 2019 in Toronto. We have an announcement for a guest for Blue Makuma. Is that how you'd say his name, Mikey?
Blue Mankuma.
Mankuma. There we go. Blue Mankuma. Who was the voice actor for Tigatron in Beast Wars. Oh, and Tigerhawk as well. which was just Tigatron's voice.
Yes.
So that's cool. I don't think we've seen him at a Transformers convention before. I think this is his first, maybe?
Gone to at least one.
Oh, well, my bad.
I think. Like, he's a nerd fiction kind of guy, so he shows up in a fair few things.
Yeah, he was apparently Gigabyte in Reboot. Which one was Gigabyte?
The big bad. Or at least one of the big bads.
He wasn't the original one.
No,
because it was Megabyte, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Gigabyte would be the next one up.
Yeah, so his I've never seen Reboot all the way through, so I don't know if
I did, but it's been 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, apparently he did Gigabyte though, so not the one I remember, who was voiced by that really famous dude who has a really deep sexual voice, who voiced a load of really good things, and I think has passed away now, unfortunately. He was also Roadblock in G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero.
Real American Hero.
And he was Heavy Duty from G.I. Joe Spy Troopers and G.I. Joe Valor vs. Venom.
I've never heard of either of those.
They were not great. Valor vs. Venom was like a one-off CG thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, Mikey. Ooh. Oh, no.
Oh, Mikey, no.
Oh. But yeah, he's known for Tigatron, so that's the most important thing, and you can go and see him at Toronto. And there's also Mr. Andrew Griffith, who will be coming to TF Nation as well. Comic artist, person extraordinaire.
He's definitely person.
He is. Anything you want to throw in there, Mr. Mikey, on those 2 things? 3 things, actually.
No, it's cool to have the peeps.
Yeah.
The only, the news is kind of running out. The only other thing really to talk about is something I just thought was kind of funny.
Oh.
So they were doing, Viacom was doing Q2 earnings for 2019.
Oh, yes.
And CEO Bob Bakish attended the 47th annual JP Morgan Global Technology Media and Communications Conference and outlined things. And apparently is saying that Bumblebee is doing incredibly well in its second quarter of 2019. Which some people are going, what? And that means home release, kids. So basically, Bumblebee has gotten at least 20 million in the 2019 quarter from home video sales, which is pretty good.
That's not bad. That's
pretty
not
good.
bad. Yeah.
And
hey, Mikey, if you make a good movie, people will buy it. Who knew?
Yeah. And there's some shade throwing here, or at least
normal shade or mad shade?
Normal, like professional shade.
Oh, okay. Respectable.
So he's referring that he's enjoying the strong performance, and he says Bumblebee most recent is a great example of Jim Giannopoulos, I don't know who that is, ability to reset a franchise. Like a lot of people went, oh, he put the next one, the last Transformers film, he put Transformers in quotations, and people are going like, oh man, and I'm just like, that's because it had Transformers in the name. He just comes out and said it. Last Transformers film, we probably lost over $100 million from last night.
How much?
100 million.
Wow, that's a lot of 10p mix-ups.
Yeah, Bumblebee is a better movie. The story was better. The characters were better. It's done more fiscally responsibly, and we're making nice money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
I think it's worth pointing out. It's not. There's still much room for improvement.
Yes. Bumblebee was a good. Like this was a stable base we have been provided.
Yes.
You bounce off that base, move forward, develop, expand. Please bring back Charlie. I liked her, but we're not saying Bumblebee is the best movie in the world.
We were just surprised about how it wasn't a pile of shit.
We're just saying when you bring in someone who, one, can create, and two, might have a passing knowledge of what it is that makes this franchise work, it's better than bringing in someone whose response to, will you make this movie? And just like, why would I make a stupid toy movie? Oh, how much money?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant a passive interest in how to make movies. I'm throwing shade.
Yeah, but people have said this before, but they don't, like, last night made $650 million. I'm just like, yes, but movies cost, by the time movies end up at the end of their runs, their home video runs and everything else, they cost way the hell more than their initial budget. There's advertising, investments, deals with cinemas, deal with everything else. Then there's production of home video, home media, and everything else. So what that means is that, yes, the last night in cinemas made $650 million, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You want to do at least twice a movie's budget.
That makes sense.
To guarantee returns.
Yep.
Which means you just edged the $650 million.
Mm-hmm.
If you got the returns and everything else. But then your home video releases clearly did not earn much money because no one bought the last night.
Yeah.
So the movie underperformed in the cinema compared to the other ones. And remember, when they budgeted for the last night, they were budgeting it along the lines of it will earn $1.2 billion guaranteed. Because even Age of Extinction and Dark of the Moon earned that much.
Mm-hmm.
So they were prepared for that kind of returns. So getting half that, when they've made investments with an awareness they were getting more money back, it was a net loss. And it's the only Transformers film to be a net loss. So Bumblebee, they spent less money, they invested less money, they advertised less, and they got better talent in to work on the film.
Yeah. So
I also think this kind of shoots Lorenzo's will they, won't they relationship with the Bayverse movies in the foot, because
he doesn't know shit, Lorenzo.
No, he doesn't. But
he does what Chris says, the producers speak.
Yep. And if Paramount and Viacom are saying they made money this way and they lost money the other way, they are not going back to the other way.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's the news, really.
That's us.
Yeah. Unless you've got something you want to say about the fiscal earnings.
Oh, no.
How fiscal are you, Andy?
Not very. Back in day, we used to talk about business fiscal things, and now at this point, we're just like, no one cares. No one wants to hear about money.
Money! Oh, hang on. Damn it! Where are you?
I thought you always had that on hand.
I do, but it's buried under
no.
some papers at the moment.
Oh, damn you for having work.
Damn you, science! You betray me again! And a Christmas decoration. No!
Oh no, it's
Kyria!
all gone south.
Kyria, no! He's fine. He's okay. He's fine. He's fine.
The only money people want to hear about is the money going into their accounts, not the earnings of a business. I can't imagine, unless you're a stockholder in Hasbro.
Yeah.
If you're a stockholder in Hasbro, you should be a stockholder in Moonbase too as well. Sign up to Patreon.
Send us. We'll sponsor review stuff on here. We'll say anything you want.
We have no shame.
The last night was the greatest cinematic experience known to man.
Hashtag wink.
Schindler's List my arse.
Oh man, I'd totally sell a Schindler's List for Transformers.
Oh yeah,
money.
I would put my foot on Out of Africa and just blow the mother's head off for yeah. Just like
no shame.
More like homosexual stereotype-ator.
You got him good, Mikey. You got him good. I'll throw it out there. I'm not a big fan of Gladiator.
That's all right. I think it's got good cinematography.
It's got good cinematography. I just get really bored with the story.
Are you entertained? Kind of.
No, I'm sorry. I'm really not.
I feel sorry for the CGI tiger.
Oh yeah. He's old now. Bless him.
If he's alive.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a CGI tiger, Mikey. Of course, he's still alive. He's alive as long as discs don't go out of format.
Maybe he was in that server that exploded when they did Devastator.
Oh no!
Remember that?
I do. God, yeah, Jesus, that was a while ago. Mikey, the question I throw to you now is: what you been up to this week? What has Mikey done for the fun?
Let's see. Caught up on Geo, so 2 episodes got subbed. So it was the Kiva arc.
Oh yes.
I don't know what that was.
Good or bad? Fun? Unfun? No, it was one of those.
Like, I like the Kiva suit. I like the other Kiva suit. It's just, what?
Would you say it exists?
They there was a woman going around saying, like, I didn't murder anyone, and then it turned out she totally had.
Oh, man, she got you.
But she believes that she didn't, by beating them to death with a manhole cover.
That's a strong lady, because manhole covers are not, like, light things.
And her whole thing in this is that if she gets attacked when she's not another Kiva, she uses a manhole cover. That comes out of nowhere.
Oh, so it's not like she just picks up a manhole cover?
Once, but every other time she just has one, including when she's attacking a wedding. But also she still goes first love, kind of.
Okay.
And then she gets killed at the end, and it's all... Actually, she does... Like, this
Spoilers.
is weird, because people... Oh, it's... Like, no. No. This is not one you can... Like, this is one that I would say skip.
Okay.
The only reason to watch this is that Kamen Rider Ginga's in it.
Right.
And so Ginga's the next future rider, except he doesn't come from the future. And he's evil. He's a space guy. And he...
Is he the one that looks like a Forze character?
Yeah, he pops up at the end of the Kiva episode, the first part. Has no explanation. Randomly says Kiva no when Kiva's not there.
I think I've seen the clip. He comes from, like, he lands from space in a big blue, like, energy effect, right? And then just starts, like, throwing energy orbs at people, and everyone's like, oh my god, who's this guy killing us?
Yeah. But then, like, we have no origin story, no build-up, no tension. They beat him, and Woz gets a final form.
Oh.
I have no fucking... Like, was he... He says Kiva at one point, but at no point does he even know who Kiva is. Another Kiva, whichever Kiva.
Kiva. I'm Kiva.
Just,
who?
He heard someone say it, and he went, that's not a word.
Kiva?
Kiva?
Eh?
And, like, they're doing one where Yuan wants to be the queen, and she tells people about her and everything else, and they don't play up the whole Geo King thing.
Okay.
And Schwartz is there doing stuff, and you're just like, we're 35 episodes in, and I still have no fucking idea what the Time Jackers are about.
Is it bad that now, I don't know why it's just clicked now, but when you say Schwartz, I've just got the guy from Spaceballs.
No,
use the Schwartz.
I don't know, but it's just not good. They're doing Kabuto next time, and they're bringing back more actors than they have before. So we've got Gatak, Kagami, and probably more important, we've got the Hoppers.
Hang on, original actors for these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So, but it's
God, how old is Kagami?
He does look like he's aged a bit. The other two don't look like they've aged at all.
Oh no.
Yagurumo looks like he's fucking immortal. But it sounds like if they're sticking to continuity, one of them's dead.
Yeah. Didn't
Like,
they both
Punch-
die? Didn't both the Hoppers
no.
die?
Kick killed Punch, and then it's kind of implied maybe he committed suicide afterwards. But
Okay.
but he killed him because he was turning into a worm.
That's right.
But it looks like Yagurumo is going to be another Kabuto,
All right.
which looks like a really cool design. Gotta say, I do like the Another Rider designs, but it's just like this episode is so weird. But I said this online. Basically everything that's going on in this show has suddenly come into a weird amount of clarity for me. Because the producer, who was also the producer in Kamen Rider Hibiki, the second half, the one everyone loves.
Yes. Lol.
He is still communicating with Western fans, which is really cool. Cool of them.
Mm-hmm.
But someone brought up, like, you may not remember this, but Gates has a power up called Gates Revive.
Okay, I don't remember because I haven't watched the show.
So Gates, I mentioned it, but you don't love me.
No.
and the whole idea of this that it goes super strong by compressing time and super fast by expanding time. But doing that to your own timeline kind of fucks you up, and it's killing him. And then we find out the whole point of Gates Revive is that it will kill him if he keeps using it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then recently, around the same time, we suddenly had all the Another Rider rules change out of fucking nowhere.
Wow.
It seems like he stopped, like, having attacks when he's using it. He's just using it normal.
Right.
And someone asked, so when are we going to see the effects of the Gates Revive watch? And the producer responded, and I'm only mildly paraphrasing here.
Okay.
So, when I started going to the gym early on, sometimes if I was working hard, I'd bleed from my nose. After a week or so, that didn't happen. That's like a power-up.
What? Sorry, are you talking or is the writer talking?
That's the writer.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
the producer,
either
sorry.
way, that's worrying.
That's the producer. That is what the producer said.
I think he's doing the gym wrong if he's going to the gym and working out and then bleeding from his nose, right?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, that's not happened to me.
No. I can't even conceive. What are you doing at the gym where you're exercising and start just profusely
Nose.
bleeding from your nose?
Every vessel in his nose just strains. But
Oh, there's
and then
blood in my applesauce.
everything came into focus when it says that. Because this show has a lot of problems with continuity and writing. And the
Right.
problem is, the guys making it don't give a shit. Like, literally don't give a shit. And the guy, and you know what? Hibiki, the second half of Hibiki, the guy didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, everything that's basically happened since 28, I'd say, to do with the continuity and the power and everything else, it's because he doesn't care. And it doesn't help that the writer isn't very good. Or isn't brilliant. I won't say he's not very good. He's certainly at the
It's too
average
late,
level.
Mikey. I'm sorry to say you've literally just said he's not
He's
very
not.
good.
Oh, okay, he's not great. But yeah, I also saw the Heisei Generations Forever movie, which is the final Heisei. The next movie is going to be a Reiwa movie. But it's the Bill Geo crossover where they get sucked into the real world or another universe where they're only fictional characters, which is a fucking thing I hate. And so the other two Heisei Generations movies, I thought they were pretty good. And they're written by the writer of Exade and the writer of Build. Two writers I have expectations from. And
High
I feel
expectations or low expectations?
I think you know the answer to that. And I think for those movies, they fulfilled those expectations within the context of doing those movies.
Sure.
Yep, and they use crossovers as well and everything else. This is written by the writer of Geo. The overall writing structure is about as good as the writing of Geo. However, I do like the crossover stuff. They do have fun with it. They do the very smart thing of using old voice clips.
Right.
So none of this guy pretending to be Forze like they used to do. Now it's just like they have things. The Deno is in it a lot. Like the good old days, Andy. Remember those?
No.
Deno was in everything.
Yeah, he was in a lot of shit.
Except, oddly enough, not the Deno actor, because he ended up being like one of the top actors in the country.
That's right, yeah. He was the guy in, what was the samurai anime movie?
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, he did all of that. Was it one movie or multiple
3.
movies he did?
3.
3.
I've only seen the first one. It was good.
Okay.
I haven't seen
I
the
heard
other
good
two.
things. Would you say I should go and watch it if I remember?
Definitely the first one. Like, I'll
Okay.
have to try the second. I just never got around to the other two. Also, I found out. I was reminded you haven't finished Tokusatsu Gaga.
No, I don't want
Watch
to
it.
experience pure
Watch
sadness.
it. Watch it. It's so good.
God.
It has the best scene in the whole show.
You told me I'll cry.
You will cry.
no.
Damn it. Emma Jason's amazing.
Emma,
He is a good boy.
Emma
Jason.
Jason.
There was just like the most heartfelt moments of a girl sitting in a school watching a robot in a toku suit.
Well, will it make you happy, Mikey, that
Yes.
I have nothing to watch tonight, so I might have to do
Watch it.
that. Then I can lie in bed weeping.
Good. But yeah, so they're dead. They got him back for this. He's the only full-on cameo in this, and he's in it for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
And because we used to make fun of the fact that they used to bring in either a child actor, I just fucking forget he was a thing. Ryotaro was a thing, despite the
Yeah.
fact he's one of my all-time favorite writer protagonists.
Mhm.
Because then it was a good show, and that they fucked up afterwards with several movies.
Oh yeah, the movies were always garbo.
Yeah. But then there's a moment at the end where they're going like, oh, because they're talking about the connection between Deno and time, and which were the memories, and time and memories were the whole shtick then. And then Thomas just turns around and is like we're ever forgetting you, Ryotaro, and he just smiles and just like, holy shit, this is weird. But they also, like, when they're doing the cameo stuff, one, there's a very noticeable absence from the voice clips, which is Kuga says nothing.
Oh.
Despite the fact he's given a lot of, like, focus shots that just like, it's because Joe Odagiri did not leave well.
Ooh.
But like, they have various, like, one of the main the team up fights are like fire themed, and then there's one which is the guys who get turned into monsters themed. So Gaim, Oz, and Blade have a fight scene together, and I nearly exploded. But then they use the voice clips, and for like when Oz comes in, he's with Drive, and Drive is talking to Mr. Belt, and in Oz he's rubbing the Hawk core metal, and he just goes onk, and I'm just like, God damn it, he's not even really there.
Do you feel teased, Mikey?
No, I was just like, God, fuck, oh, and made me really wish that Gio was doing the O stuff now, when they're actually putting the effort to do the stories about the writers.
Yeah.
Rather than when they were trying to be clever.
I get you, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's not brilliant. It's not as good as the other ones. But it's got some nice... What I would say, it's got some nice scenes to watch in isolation.
Okay.
Now, the Deno scene, the writers appearing scene, the final writer kick, which is just every writer kick from the last 20 years. Which is, but like they like give time to give everyone like, and here's the 3, 2, 1, and here's the maximum, the critical finish and everything else, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they do spend time in it. But yeah, also it's weird to see Decade as a voice cameo because clearly they hadn't managed to get the actor back then.
Okay.
And he keeps popping up into Geo now, and it's just like, what you can't get rid of him now. Yeah. Watch some animes. Isekai Quartet started that today.
And what is that?
That is, so there are 4 animes, all are all produced by the same company. ReZero, Konosuba, Tanya the Evil, and Overlord, which are, of course, got protagonists transported into Otherworld animes. And so this is a comedy 12-minute sketch show where they all randomly, because of buttons that they shouldn't be pushing. Who do you think pushed the first button, Andy? No, almost.
Really?
It was Megumin.
Really? Huh.
Because she said, I absolutely understand that we should not be pushing this button. However, and push the button. And Aqua's just like, I wanted to push the button! Kazuma's just like, I told you not to. And then Darkness gets way too into where they may be going and what this button may do. Because she is a problem.
Yeah, she likes it rough. That's for sure. Bless her.
No one else does.
No. No.
And yeah, they all get transported into a school where the sort of like mentor / adult characters and mature characters from their shows are acting as teachers, and these guys are all interacting. So the Overlord cast are like all actually evil, and constantly talking about how their lord is ultimate master, and Tanya's analyzing, and Subaru is just Subaruing his way through life, and Kazuma is ashamed for most of it.
Has Kazuma like stolen anyone's panties yet?
No, but he did have a mental breakdown when Subaru gave him a very, 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 like, skimmed overview of what life is like in his world.
Oh, yeah.
We're just like, yeah, I'm just, like, there. I'm in a mansion, and there's these 4 girls, and, like, at least 2 of them are literally in love with me, and I think they'd be okay if I ended up going out with both of them at the same time. So, yeah, it's not, like... And Cosmo just has a fucking breakdown, because he technically has something similar, but... One actually tried to molest him, one blows stuff up, and his best friend is a water goddess with the brain of a fish.
Yeah, but Subaru's had it pretty rough.
Yeah, but he doesn't really go into those details.
Oh, he kind of skims over the important stuff.
Is
okay.
it like I've died so many times, never well.
No,
never well.
Never
and Rem like bonds with the female protagonist from Overlord because they're both like she's like completely obsessed with Ainz. Ainz, thank you. And
Ainz
she's like,
goal or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
We're going to take over the world. Blah 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 blah. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. And then her and Rem bond because she's like, I love my guy. And Rem is like really patronizingly like, whatever Subaru does is fine, no matter how stupid and it makes him look. And Ram is in the corner just like, you fucking suck. Barasu. Hey Barasu, I love you. You suck. Amelia and Puck are there as well. And Amelia is class rep. Which is like nice. And Puck literally opens up by saying, if you mess with her, I'll kill you. Which he will.
Oh, I like the fact that Puck's there. I wouldn't suspect the little floating side animal would pop up.
Yeah, what was surprised for me, Betty's there.
Which one's Betty?
Betty's the spirit, the little spirit girl who lives in the library.
Oh, yeah. She's there.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
And she is pissed.
She's always pissed.
She is not happy, especially everyone keeps calling her little girl. Especially people who know Tanya. So she's just like, I'll fuck you up. But like there's some of like the Tanya characters are by far the least interesting because they're just played too straight.
Right.
The other one is like Ainz is constantly like, oh, clearly my lord, you meant this, and he's like, I did. I have no idea what you're talking about. But like he bonds with Tanya because they're both technically evil. But then you've got something like obviously he's undead.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all monsters and like vampires and stuff. So Aqua's like Aqua. You've seen her.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is, Aqua is. You wouldn't believe this if you knew her, but she is technically a god.
Yeah, and she's really good at killing the undead.
Like she is actually a genuinely powerful god with
Yeah.
the brain of a fish.
Yeah, at best.
So there was a great moment of they're coming home from the school and she is blocking them in the street, yelling, "I have to kill the undead." Shoots them, and he's like, because in his universe, in his show, he is so ridiculously overpowered. Not like nothing is even on his nothing compares, because that is something I hate about some of the Sekais.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, she's using a low-level spell. It hits him, and he's just like, ah, Jesus! And then she's going to shoot him again with a stronger one, and Cosmo punches her in the back of the head and drags her off. And she's going like, but I have to kill him! And like, it becomes this running thing of her constantly trying to kill him in class. And he's like, I don't know how to handle this. Darkness, for the talent show, gives a guy she's never met a whip and tells him to beat her. Her talent is, quote, her strong body.
Oh, no.
And then everyone assumes that he's been doing this in their free time. And he's like, no, I haven't. So, Subaru's one was he made the Tokyo Tower out of wool, and everyone hated it except Rem, who said, I don't know what you did, but I loved it. Rem is a good girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But no, it's fun. It's not advanced or anything. And like the Tanya stuff, like they even have to stop and explain what Tanya even is because no one's seen the fucking show.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
But it's worth time. They're only 12 minutes and only 6 episodes out so far, so go ahead. Rise of the Shield Hero, otherwise known as, for fuck's sake, will you all maybe check yourselves? Which was 20 minutes of now for me tearing people to shreds.
I did have some issues with that episode.
It had pacing problems.
My main issue was it got to the end of the episode and I went, they've been in this hole for a while. I wonder if they're going to get out before the end of the episode. Credits roll. I guess not. Oh shit. No. It felt almost like a recap episode because it went back over things that we already fucking knew.
Yeah, and it did feel like, hey, it's really convenient. He has to charge mana.
Oh
For
yeah,
minutes- for minutes at a time.
He was standing there for like most of the episode, going, "I'll get you. Just wait. I'll get you."
Pope gonna fuck you up, and it's just like you're shit, you're shit, you're shit, you're all shit.
Yeah.
The giant chicken told me to hang out with you and do stuff, and she'll fucking kill us.
The giant queen chicken. You have to
Ultimate
state.
chicken.
Yes, ultimate chicken. Not regular chicken.
No, giant chicken is just like spear guy can suck a dick.
Yep.
I did like how it did just come into him constantly doing what he always does, which is like acting in a moment, and everyone just going like, "You're atrocious."
God, this guy sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, for me it was pacing.
Yeah, definitely. There was definitely some
issue.
issues. It felt like they just had to sit down and go, "Okay, let's not do a recap episode, but let's do a recap episode."
Yeah, we need to basically have now for me call these guys out before he works with them because we can't think of him doing it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't think of a way to do it naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I did just like the bit where him and the gang just sort of right, we're all going to work together. Cut to them. Okay, we'll do this and we'll ignore these idiots.
Yeah.
Blade of Destruction. Fun. More of just a fighty episode, but it was fun. Loved the ending. Oh, that was fucking sinister. Because it hints at the main bad guy, but it does it in a very interesting way, and then has him doing some fucked up shit.
You mean
like,
giant chicken?
No.
What's Blade of Ultimate Destruction?
Blade of Destruction is that one of those feudal animes I've been watching.
Right, okay.
But I really do say check this one out. It had something I didn't like, which was the sister who's got turned into a demon. She's in a big fight, and it's really cool.
Oh, that one. Is that the one where the girl has the scroll in her mouth to stop her eating things?
Yeah, she's got a muzzle. And she gets into a fight, and it's really cool, but then for some reason they say, oh, we're going to have her in... She takes a minor wound that as a demon she can heal almost instantly, and then her brother comes in and saves her in a really beautifully animated scene, but I'm just like, just let her take the kill. Like, you didn't need to do this.
He's trying to seal the kill.
The whole point was like, she's way stronger than this guy.
Yeah.
And like, okay, she's straightforward, but the reason she's straightforward in a fight is that she's fucking terrifying. But yeah, the ending, wow. I've seen these things play out before, and it's not a new idea. But one, I love the visuals. They threw in a curveball, and then there's just this wonderful bit of animation that caught me completely off guard, and what they do it like. I'm sure this will get shown and fucked up at some point if it runs long enough.
Right.
But at the moment, beautifully animated show, engaging characters, great music. Only thing I'd really have a complaint is that because of how they approach the sister, she doesn't get a lot of character development. It's a lot of implied.
Okay.
And I'd like to hear more of her side of things. Dororo, caught up on that. Dororo. We had an episode where Hyakimaru talks more than he has in the entire show.
Yeah, it's mad. It's like, wow, he's a fucking gabbaguts today, isn't he?
Yeah, which I liked. I liked that episode. It was a good bit of character analysis. And it's again kind of highlighting the fact that we're on his side, but what he is doing is on some level selfish.
Really bad. Yeah, very selfish.
But we're also, as an audience, saying, like, what you've done will not work out in your favor in the end world.
No.
Like, he may be, my attitude is kind of like, he's bringing about immediate harm, but I think the long-term harm will be worse.
Yeah, the fact that the demons live in the land is probably going to do worse things over time, surely.
I'm guessing they can only eat a child's body parts for so long.
You would imagine so.
Like,
whatever that actually means.
Yeah, like, maybe they only exist as long as Hyakimaru is alive.
Yeah.
Like, if he dies, and then, what do they do then?
Yeah, it's not 100% like solid on what the consumption of each of the body parts of Hyakimaru means, because I'm sure it doesn't mean literal. It probably means like spiritual, and like again, like what does that mean?
Yeah,
but yeah, I would agree. It's a difficult position, but I'm like, I think it's weird how everyone's like, oh, is it really that important to get your body back? And if it was you, you'd be like, fucking yeah. Well, it's not yours.
He gives a very good answer. It's just like, why do you want this so bad? It's mine.
Yeah, it's my arms, my eyes, my nose, my sense of taste and pain and everything. Yeah, I kind of want that, because if you take those things away from someone, they kind of become a little bit less human. Not from our perspective, but the way that it's usually phrased in fiction,
especially,
is they don't view themselves as human because they can't experience life as a human being.
Which is interesting, because everyone who meets Hyakimaru, who either knew him before or sees him recently, is sort of worried that the more he's getting back, the less human he's becoming.
Well, that's because of the extra demon taint he seems to be absorbing into him at the same time.
Yeah, and he has shown himself to have a ruthlessness about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And, plus, like, I will say, like, oh, don't become a monster. That one time in episode 6 or 7, I ain't feeling sorry for nobody.
No, it was really hard to be like, oh no, don't kill him.
Oh no, they don't have the fucking thing coming.
Yeah, oh, no, stop him.
No.
They kill children. A lot of children.
Innocent, kind, wonderful people who just wanted to sing a song and are very self-sacrificing in every sense.
No, kill them. Kill the children. They clearly had it coming.
Yeah. Although there was a bit in like this one I found a little bit creepy because it opened with someone after stripping Dororo, who obviously thought that they were like, it's just in the context that I know that this was like, oh, I didn't know you were a girl, but it was just like still creepy.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Didn't like that little cowering naked child.
No.
But no, still a fun show. Was there anything else today anime wise I watched? There was something, but
what was it, Mikey?
Escaping me at the moment.
Ah!
I've got Karakuri Circus ready to go for this week, so.
Oh, neat. What episode are you on for that?
15, 16, something like that.
Okay.
Haven't.
So you're not close to the end though.
No, it's I think episode 30 is after airing.
Okay.
There was some. Oh yeah, I've also maybe got Konosuba and ReZero lined up.
Oh, again, you mean
for a rewatch?
Okay, I was gonna say because you've seen Konosuba.
Yes, once or twice.
Yeah.
And also that Sinners movie thing. I've got that downloaded and.
Garden of the Sinners.
Yeah, and I'm going to. I've decided to start catching up on my Monogatari side of things because I really want to get to those movies that Jai told me to check out, the Kizumonogatari stuff, because I've seen one clip of a fight scene from that and that looks fucking insane.
Okay.
And this show never has actual fight scenes. It has the main character getting his ass handed to him, and his entrails being used to swing him around like a baseball.
Yay!
And this is mostly a comedy show.
Mostly.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched Game of Thrones. That was kind of the end of my week.
Yeah.
What was that?
A mess. I don't want to talk too much about it because a lot of people who are way more invested in the show than us have talked about it.
I would recommend checking out the Unbridled Rage videos.
From Mauler.
Yeah, they are long, but they hit literally everything.
Yeah, they piss off some people, but I think he nails a lot of fair points. He seems fairly objective. As much as he can be when you like a show. Yeah,
I think you put it best when you said that this show will one day be used in universities as examples of how to destroy storytelling.
It's fascinating. I think it's worth watching because I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen any show do this where it starts off fairly well. You could objectively you could say you didn't like the start of it, but I would say it was much better written. And then it gets to the middle point and it starts going, oh, it's got some okay bits, but it's messing up a bit here, and then suddenly goes downhill right at the end. I've never seen a show tank so hard.
But
never.
Like consciously, like
deliberately.
It's not like when shows usually go bad. Right. What's happening is that you've got we're working towards our idea, and we're just not writing it very well. So if I expected this to be a bad season, but whatever, I would have expected it to go through and here's what happens to Cersei, and then there's the Night King, and then everyone dies, blah blah blah, and it just wouldn't be very competently written, and I would just be like, okay. But because for some reason the writers have decided that no, you all thought you knew where this was going. Well, fuck you. Every single choice is not only the subversive choice, but it's literally the wrong choice for the story you have been telling for a decade. It's genuinely fascinating from a creative standpoint. It's like the creators are actively angry at the show or the audience and want to do the worst possible fanfic nonsense that they can. And yeah, one more episode tonight, and I don't know what to expect. But I've heard rumors, and I would say if those rumors are true...
Just because it ends tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think shows are in many ways defined by their ending.
Oh, God, yeah. Of course.
And right now, if someone said, should I start watching Game of Thrones, I would say no, because no matter how good those early seasons are, there is no payoff.
I'd say watch 1 to 4 and then never do any more.
Watching 1 to 4, try and watching them without the context of knowing where it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when you watched them originally, you watched them thinking this was building to something.
That is true.
The Game of Thrones, the White Walkers, the Wildlings, the Dragons, and you know where it goes now.
It's weird because I know neither of us are massive fans of the books, but I think watching seasons 1 to 4, and then if it does interest you, you could at least try the books. It would be like me suggesting watching the first Berserk anime, or at least the movie compilation, and they say, oh, you mean then go off to watch the CGI? No, just read the manga after that. But the no. I'm helping you. Just do the manga. You'll save yourself, and you'll save your eyes, and your soul. Your Tamashi will be safe. Think of your Tamashi, Mikey.
I'm trying to, but I don't know what, it's like, I've never seen something like this, and I have seen shit.
Yeah.
I have seen shows that fucked up their ending before. Whether it's live action animation, whatever, I've seen bad shows, bad endings to good shows, whatever. I have never in my life seen something like this.
No, yeah, it's
like it is something
amazing.
that there are academic papers to be written on this. I am not joking.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I wasn't when I said it either.
I mean, do you have any other thoughts in Game of Thrones?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how, if I'm going to shorten this down to speed this up, I might, because again, I think we've waffled a long time about this bollocks.
Yeah, there's a lot of us going like,
Can you blame us?
No, I can probably blame people whose version of defending the show is now to be kind of dickheads to everyone else. But I also don't think if someone is liking the show, don't be a dickhead to them.
No.
But vice versa.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say, if someone just wants to say, I like the cinematography, I think
That's
giving
fine.
it a 6 or a 7 out of 10 because the cinematography is laughable.
Mm.
I think giving this, this episode anything above a 3 is laughable.
Mm-hmm.
But, because it is that bad. It is the worst reviewed episode of Game of Thrones ever.
For good reason, I'd say.
Yeah. But no, anyway, that's enough about that. Next week, we will have the end-to-end all endings, and if it's what I think it's going to be, Jesus titty Christ.
Jesus titty Christ.
Indeed.
My favourite of the Jesus.
He has 12 nipples. But Andy, what did you get up to this week?
Not a huge amount. I got the comic show edited and up, and the free version will be up at some point. I'll be hopefully getting your Godzilla thing up at some point this week as well, because obviously there's not much to edit. Hopefully, right?
To be fair, I'd say just stick it up. But
okay, so you heard it here, people who do Patreon. If there are any problems with it, it's on Mikey.
And if you say there's any problems with it,
it's on
go
Mikey.
away.
I like that. Fuck you. So I did that. I started rewatching Game of Thrones season 1. So that's been really interesting to go back and see where it started, and kind of cover the problems that we had, and then not actually be there. I described it to Mikey as like an indie film, then moving to where the Marvel's films are. And it's more my interpretation of the Marvel films than the general populace interpretation of the Marvel films, i.e. negatively. I watched and finished all 8 of Garden of the Sinners.
8?
Yeah, there's like 8 individual movie things.
Huh.
There's 1 overview, 2 murder speculation part A, remaining sense of pain, the Hollow Shrine, paradox something, Oblivion recording, murder speculation part B, epilogue, and remix, which I don't think was actually anything. So I've watched all of them. I love the music. The music is really good. It gets stuck in your brain. It's stuck in my brain. I get the animation's really good. Story wise, I'm not sure. The main part of the story is it kind of ends around Paradox, which is episode 5, which is like the first 2-hour one. And it gets very weird with its editing because it's all to do with time a little bit, so it gets a bit jarring to try and jump back and forth. I think these shows are more jarring when they're in a foreign language and you're reading them as well as trying to watch them. It becomes harder, well, at least for me, it becomes harder to follow changes like that. Like, it starts off fairly normal, and the first half, and then the second half gets to points where you're like, is this replaying the same scene again? Is it like a time loop? And then you find it's not. It's just the way it's been edited. It's either different days that have been drawn and animated in the exact same way, or it is things that are done out of sequence to kind of do reveals and things in a bit of a strange way. I'm really not sure if I like it. I think it's an interesting series, but it's not like a Fate where I want to go back to it. Though it is in the Fate universe in a very loose sense.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with, the summoning of heroic spirits from throughout time, but it makes reference to the Clock Tower, which is the Mages Association, and the Mages are the guys that summon the people from history. And it makes reference to the Origin, which is in Fate called the Root. And the Root is the source of all magic and kind of what all mages are trying to find so they can get, the answers to life and meaning and everything. So there are references to that universe and to stuff like it, but there's no direct Fate. Like, oh, did you hear that they tried to do this and then went for the Holy Grail? There's none of that stuff.
I wonder if you look a bit deeper into it, do all these projects have a united universe?
From Type Moon, probably.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like Tsukihime references we wouldn't get.
Well, Carnival Phantasm, granted, was a comedy show, but it did bring all that stuff together. So, tentatively, maybe.
Is there a game or a manga or a book out there that's in continuity and just like then they all met?
Again, it very well could be. I wouldn't be shocked.
That would just be an orgy.
Because I think it's usually referred to playfully as the Natsuverse. Because it's all done by Natsu, I can't remember his other name. So within his mind, maybe it is all within one universe, which is not a terrible idea.
I don't.
It's interesting.
I've heard worse ideas.
Yeah, the thing where it obviously gets a bit more confusing is the alternate story areas where like Fate Apocrypha is using concepts, but it's not the same universe. It's the same it's the Holy Grail War, but it's not in the same universe. It's an alternate universe. So it gets a bit more confusing when you go down that route. But Garden of the First Sinners, at the very least, I think it's worth having a look at and deciding for yourself. You can't get an English version, because I don't think it's ever been brought over. I think the only way you can actually get it in America is by special order, and it's only in Japanese, I think, and I think it's like super expensive if you want to try and get it. So there are other ways to get it.
I know none.
Neither do I. Apart from that, have I done anything? I don't think so. Because, got, 8 movies. That takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, I think that's plenty. And it leaves you time tonight to watch something else.
Sadness. Pure sadness. Oh, I did also watch an episode 0 of Lord El Malloy, the second Case Files, which I'm not sure if that was...
Lord
it seems.
El Malloy.
Yeah, again, he was a character from the Fate series. Specifically from Fate Zero, who then appears in a few other series as well, but under a different name. He's quite cool. It seems like it's either a visual, animated intro to you getting into the mangas, which is him working at the Clock Tower, the Mages kind of association in Hogwarts, effectively. And kind of dealing with some political nonsense, because there's a lot of political woo-woo within the Clock Tower. It's an episode 00, so it's a full half an hour episode, and then just kind of ends, and it feels like, oh, is this the start of a series? And so far it doesn't seem to have been, but it was a fairly nice, solid foot place where I was like, oh, it even makes some really good sad references to his time in Fate Zero and how it really affected him, because he was paired with Iskandar, or Alexander the Great, and he got on really well with him. He kind of looked up to him, and said a number of times throughout the series, by the end, I see you as my king. I want to follow you, because he respected him so much. And it made quite a few nice references and back calls to that, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. It's sad though that it's affected him so so much into his adult life that he's even remembering it going, shit, man, those were some good times. I think that's all that's really worth talking about, because I don't think I've really done anything else noteworthy. I'm thinking about picking up the Sodo figures for Double finally.
Oh, good man.
Because, I like Double. That was a good show. And
Yep.
Fang Joker, Joker, and Cyclone Joker, not a terrible little set to get. So.
No.
I think that might be... Oh, were you going to say something, Mr. Mike?
No, just hit me. Those are all like the significant character forms.
Yes, they're not the side ones. The only one they don't have is Extreme. Exotreme.
They'll get to Extreme at some point.
They've already done Extreme, but he's in a special box. A web one, so haha. I think that's it. And Mikey, where can people find you? Oh, no, we do have a question.
We do have a question from Mr. Jason Kirk, which is audio.
Oh, he's not the one I cared about.
I've got one from Jason.
Yeah, all right.
So
Shall we play his clip then?
Let's do that.
Woohoo! Hey, Andy and Mikey. Jason here. Just a couple comments for you. I'm actually, I am enjoying this season of Game of Thrones a little bit more than you guys are, even though I fully recognize the fact that it's more disappointing than my first wife. But let's just face it. The creators checked out a season and a half ago, maybe 2 seasons ago. Benioff and Weiss, they've got their Confederate show or whatever the hell that's going to be. They're doing Star Wars stuff. They haven't cared about Game of Thrones in 2 years. Obviously, we know how the actors feel about the season. And, everyone else is just kind of checked out too. Because, well, let's face it. That's how you get a coffee cup in your show. I mean, they're not even caring about post-production, so it's pretty sad. But I'm certainly not going to skip the last episode. It's not great, but I'll take it because the first 5-6 seasons were pretty dang good. So hey. Also, real quick, 2 anime type things here. First of all, do you guys know why anime switch their theme song halfway through a season? Because I know you guys have talked about that a little bit. Is there any reasoning to it? 2 of my favorite anime themes, of course, Kill la Kill. The first one from Kill la Kill, which got switched about halfway through the season. Now, though, the one they switched to, I think, was the ending theme song they used in the first half of the season. So I was familiar with it, so it didn't bother me too much. But then, of course, My Hero Academia, they went the whole way through the first season with one, and then they switched it halfway through the season, every season after that. And I don't think anything that they've come up with since then has even held a candle to the theme from Porno Graffiti for the first season. So if you know why they do that, can you let me know? And finally, you guys recommended ReZero to me back when we did the Gridman special, but you guys have been talking a lot about Giant Chicken. So here's my question to you two. Which one should I start watching first? ReZero, or I want to say it's Rise of the Shield Hero? I think, since you guys just keep saying Giant Chicken, so I'm pretty sure that's the show. If it's not, let me know. So, all right. Thanks, guys, and I await your answers.
Woohoo! All right, so I think he makes a point about Game of Thrones. It's good he's enjoying it more than we are. I think everyone is. Actually,
no
it's
Jason's one of the outliers.
Jason's one of the high bars, and he's just I can tolerate it. And I
you know who he is. He's Julian and Miles from Worf's bachelor party. When they're hanging over the fire.
Oh dear.
I can see it so Jason? Clearly.
I like that.
Gonna kill Worf. Yeah.
Gotta kill Worf. Yeah. They enjoyed that night. But yeah, and anime question. So, why anime songs change? Do you know, Andy?
I don't actually. I think you have. I have a feeling you actually know the legit reason.
Yeah. So it used to be as much of a thing as it is now. But that was actually when most anime seasons were aiming at about 26 per. Now, mid-2000s, the 13-episode thing became a lot more common. The way it breaks down now is that anime is released in what are called cores. So these are they're not quite seasonal divisions of the year. So you get 13 episodes, next core starts, 13 episodes, next core starts, 13 episodes, next core starts, 13 episodes. This means that most shows are now designed to fit into one core. So most of your comedies, your actions, whatever, they will only run for 13 episodes and then maybe they'll never come back. Maybe they'll get a second season. Who knows? However, with shows that run for 26 episodes, they're now running over a 2-core break. So they started introducing the idea that after the 13th episode, and if you count, it is almost always 13 episodes when this happens, they will now switch to a new song, which is now relevant to that core. And it follows the same division. Like, even if they don't change the song, they'll usually change the visuals of the opening.
Yeah.
A good example of that is Ushi and Tora, which when they moved into their second core run, they updated the visuals of their opening, but kept the same song. But when they moved into their third core, which is rare enough, they came up with a brand new song. So it's just the structure of how anime is released in Japan. It also means like you can get really into an opening like the first one of Attack on Titan, and then you get into the second one of Attack on Titan, and
after they have sex with the bees and the eagles, it went downhill after that.
Yeah,
Just
plus
like the show.
You made it into the second half of Attack on Titan season 1. Well done, you. Because I didn't.
No.
But yeah, so Kill la Kill, it followed the same structure. I quite like the second opening, but if you were more into the first one, it's not, as far as I remember, the ending from season 1, but it's by the same artist.
Right.
Yeah, and Andy,
Mikey.
Should he start with Rise of the Shield Hero, World of Giant Chicken?
Yes.
Or should he start with ReZero, Happy Fun Time?
Yeah, no sadness there.
Nothing bad happens to anyone.
I guess it depends really what you're in the mood for, because it's hard to say because Rising of the Shield Hero is not finished, so it might be not safer, that's maybe not the word for it, but it might be a better option to say ReZero, just because as of now, at least season 1 is done. So you can watch all of season 1, and probably by the time, depending how quickly you consume your media, how quickly you're done with that, Rising of the Giant Chicken might be finished.
And but by the time depending on how long you take, season 2 could be not too far away.
Yeah, for ReZero you mean? Though I wouldn't hold out much hope for that, because we don't have much info on that.
No, we just have a couple of visuals.
Yeah, so so it depends on those two factors. It depends on if you're in the mood for something happy, if you're in for something that's
watch neither of those shows.
One is considerably less happy than the other, though. Good,
yes,
though.
but neither starts with the happy.
No, they don't.
But
they
are both
maybe
excellent
ReZero.
examples of I was thinking about this. So Rise of the Shield Hero, I think, is a good one to watch to get a lot of the basic tropes of isekai in a very engaging format. Yeah. Because while it does push some outlier stuff, like quite a bit, it is safer.
Yes.
And it excludes a lot of the worst aspects of normal isekai, like I mentioned earlier on in the show. Though the idea like, oh look, he's an instant expert, or he's more powerful than everyone else for some reason. That makes no sense, but it means we can have a overpowered. Like I would never say start with reincarnated like as a slime. Like
that's boring.
Yeah, and that's just like way too many breaking stuff.
For me, slime is more like something. I'm sorry. Apologies if you disagree and you really like the show. A bit trashy. A bit trashy. It's not
in the way we usually use it.
No. It's not like big boobed anime girls bouncing around. It's just like it can exist in the background while you do another stuff, and you're not going to really lose out on a huge amount if you don't watch it.
ReZero, I think, is simply probably the best show out of that genre.
Serious one.
Yeah.
It's not the best one.
We're getting there. It is, in terms of overall writing, character development, plot progression, visuals, music, everything. It just works on every level for me. It's an excellent show. It might set standards a bit high.
Yes.
And I like Rise of the Shield Hero. It is not as good as ReZero.
No, it's not.
I would say it's one to go for if you're willing to go all in. And to be fair, maybe, because both of these start with hour-long episodes, watch the first episode of each. See which one engages you more right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then just go, because ultimately it's choice. And then watch Konosuba, which is the ultimate show ever made.
Yeah, it's fun. If you want a funny show that'll make you laugh, that's the one you go for.
I would also say watch it afterward, because you need to know at least a few of the basic tropes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And because its approach to the tropes are, I'm going to beat them and take their wallet. And like, I mean, not just the isekai tropes, anime tropes in general.
Yeah.
Like we've mentioned Darkness once or twice. She is a very interesting response to some harsher animes that have happened over the years.
Yes.
And those isekais where it's just like, hey, there's this guy who appeared in our world, clothes off. Like, which is a whole subgenre in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about porn. I'm talking about just like, oh, a man walks by and my clothes remarkably spring off because he's from another world and knows what a laptop is.
Mm-hmm.
And the Darkness is kind of a response to when someone is that overly sexed.
Yeah.
And it's also stuff like, hey, the main female protagonist is not a love interest, which is very rare.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say try out the opening episode of each one, and see which one is like, okay, I can run with this. And I afterwards go back and watch the other one because it's also good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So that would be my thing. Andy, you said we had another question.
Yes, we've got one from Tentomon number 4. So should we kindly beg
Yes.
Kararyudo fan subs to translate more Legends manga?
Yes.
The answer is yes. In the nicest way possible, of course. Obviously. Don't be an asshole about it. No,
don't be an asshole, but let me be an asshole. you all be polite. Like, carrot, stick.
Also, seen any more, or have you seen any more of the Transformers Collector's card game coming out of Wave 3, Andy? I actually haven't. I haven't been keeping track of Wave 3. I've been trying to not get too far into the collector card hole. And that currently would be potentially the only thing that would get me. In terms of collecting card stuff, my only thing is, I guess, the Warhammer Shadespire or Nightfall stuff, because you get models for it as well to paint, which I still need to paint up, but you also get cards to play the game. So that's the only kind of card collector thing I'm kind of in at the moment. He also goes on, why can't the dragons just burn everything and fly off into the sunset with the end sign pop up, Mikey? That's Game of Thrones, I assume.
I'm doing a face right now.
Would be subversive storytelling.
It's kind of what happened.
Yeah, sort of.
Kind of like, not dragons, but kind of what happened.
Yeah. Which is why, for the record, I would make Blackarachnia an Autobot, plus having one of the heroes be a giant techno-organic alien spider that creeps out the human friends.
I thought you were about to say something very different.
Yeah, luckily I didn't. Would make an even more endearing. Would make them even more endearing. Making for good humor or something. But then again, that's not what Evergreen... that's not what Evergreen is about. I guess...
I'm not even sure what Evergreen's about anymore.
No, neither am I.
Because it hasn't really been a thing recently. It disappeared after Cyberverse came out.
Yeah, it's just... Has it done anything? I don't think it
really has. No, because they had the Evergreen toys, and then we were seeing all these Evergreen designs. And then Cyberverse came out, and then we haven't heard anything since.
Yeah. Continues. I guess it could. I guess it could just come down to color black and gold equals evil Blackarachnia, and red and blue equals good Blackarachnia. Whatever. Later, dudes, and sorry for the mess, Andy.
Optimus webs.
Optimus webs everywhere. That sounds gross.
Oh, Optimus, no. Like that thing from TFA where Krillin goes into the cave. And Bulma just screams, "It's on the walls!"
Oh, yeah. Dirty Krillin.
Yeah. She had to clean that.
She did. So any thoughts there, Mikey?
I think that's an interesting take on Blackarachnia.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, having the dragons just murder everyone and fly off would be like... And if a big sign... I don't want to say the end. I want them to go off with like a little sign hanging off their neck. One saying subversive, the other saying expectation. And just... Either that, they start talking. Also, Jesus, people, stop doing videos about who's the strongest movie dragon, please. It's pissing me off.
Is that a thing? People
yes.
doing that?
Could Smaug beat Drogon? Could Drogon beat Smaug? And, like, I saw one today, just like, Drogon would take 300 and X number of years to get through the wall. Except, no, he wouldn't, because Viserion did it in 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And also, it's fucking Ghidorah!
Hang on, someone's saying that he
Yes!
would win between Drogon and Ghidorah.
Yes!
Yeah, the entire thing with the kaijus from Godzilla are they're super ridiculously powerful.
Final Wars Godzilla got hit by a meteorite and didn't budge.
Yeah. They're like super. It's like, yo,
Mega Gear, the Godzilla vs. Mega Gears, they hit him with a black hole twice.
Can the question beat Superman? No.
No.
These are the kind of questions you're asking. No.
Like, what if he has kryptonite? No.
No.
It's like, oh, well, Smaug can hold up to gold.
He dies.
Ghidorah.
He just dies. It's okay, but he does just die.
Yeah, he gets hit by a big stick and dies.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, it's a well-aimed stick, but still.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, but, like, they headbutt nukes.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, God. Like, the new one as well. Like, I saw someone say, like, could the new Ghidorah beat X? Like, these movie dragons. Just like, 1, yes. 2, we haven't seen him do anything.
No, it's hard to judge.
But 3, yes.
Because, well, kind of going by how powerful Godzilla was in that movie, and he's obviously meant to be more powerful than Godzilla.
And he's got that Godzilla's stronger as well because he's bigger.
Yeah,
and like he's got like he's going to have at least one power up.
Oh, of course.
Going by the toy release that came out, but
Godzilla or Ghidorah, do you mean?
Godzilla, because there's like in the trailers he's flashing blue a lot,
right?
And that's been released as like energy absorbed Godzilla. But it's like I don't think that's going to be like, and that's the end of the movie because there's a lot of scenes where he's flashing blue.
Fair play.
I think he's just going to do that for most of the fights towards the end of the film.
Huh.
Which I have no problem with. I think it's an interesting visual thing.
No, that's fine. I don't mind that. That's all good.
I still really hope they subvert expectations with that movie and make it really good. Like, I think it's really, really good, but I've seen a lot of people go like, I don't know, giant monsters.
I mean, it could go either way.
It could. It's a movie, of course it could.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and hope and see, I suppose.
Having Ghidorah suddenly turn out to be the good guy will not be a good idea.
That'd be different. Right, Mikey, I think that's where we should end the show for this week, sir.
Yes.
Where can people find you on the internet?
Waiting for a movie to come out. But you can find me on the internet as Irish Paleo as GWolfie3 on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can send them to our Twitter at themoonbase2. You can send them on email, themoonbase2@gmail.com. You can send them on Facebook. You can send them on Patreon if you're a supporter. You can send it to us privately. You can send us by pigeon, carrier crow.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, rock and roll.
I don't know. Electronic letter. They're called emails.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fax. And then I was going to say no one has fax anymore.
I keep seeing fax numbers and things. I'm just like,
no. Oh God.
What year is it?
Do you remember when you had to use fax to get to BotCon for the longest time? My God.
We used to have a fax machine as well, and we all got so excited, just like it can print letters that we didn't send, but no one's using it because we bought it in 2005, 2005, whatever it was. What about you, Andy?
You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, do $2 each month, and you get the extended version from the Files of Teletran 2, and you also get it a week early. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where, as we said earlier, that's Mikey doing some talk about Godzilla and whatnot, because he's somewhat excited.
I'm not excited. You're excited.
You know who the best dragon is, though, Mikey?
Toothless?
Dragonheart. Could be King Ghidorah.
What if halfway through the movie King Ghidorah starts talking and it's Sean Connery come out of retirement?
It's the secret sequel to Dragonheart. After all these years, the fans wanted it.
Yeah. Also, I search Godzilla right now and like literally nothing but pictures of him with blue spines.
Good.
I actually think it's a neat look, so I don't mind it being there. It's just like, how is he going to get this like at the start of the movie?
Yeah, maybe. I suppose we'll have to see.
Blue. Oh my god, the NECA toy is so bad.
Oh, what a shock. It's Necker. Oh, wait.
Oh, we're ending the show, but I'm sending Andy the picture.
You can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com to get the rest of the stuff as well if I happen to be on any shows. And I might be doing one with George in the not too distant future for Dark Souls 2, because George is deep into Dark Souls 2 and he wants to talk about it. And I'm apparently the guy to talk about it with. We can complain about that game together. That's what I will be doing. So thank you, Mr. Mikey, for joining me this week.
Thank you for listening to my inane babble.
Woo! And we'll catch you next week with Mikey and me probably going, oh God, what was Game of Thrones?
Maybe it was amazing. Maybe. Andy and I are saying, like, okay, it was a shocking revelation of goodness.
It's entirely possible that could happen.
It's also possible we'll be destroyed by a meteorite we didn't detect in the next 10 minutes.
It's true.
That's fine.
Anything could happen. Oh yeah, wow, there's a super blue spine. That toy does not look good though.
No, it looks like he's peed himself.
Yeah, from this image, it kind of looks like something you get from McDonald's.
It looks like someone just true painted him.
Yeah, a little bit.
Godzilla had a bad paintball session, guys.
We'll catch you next week, everyone.
Take care.